Hey, what's up, Lightbolt Joe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2009 comedy film All About Steve. So this completes the 2009 Sandra Bullock trilogy of films, right? She did 2009's Proposal alongside Ryan Reynolds. She did 2009's All About Steve alongside Bradley Cooper. She did 2009's The Blind Side, which won her the Academy Award. So she was nominated for the Golden Razzie for the Rotten Tomatoes rewards, the Golden Raspberry rewards for worst film, worst actress, whatever, right? They do those every year. She was nominated for worst actress for All About Steve. The same year she was nominated for best actress for the Oscars, and she won both categories, and she actually accepted both awards. Super funny because nobody ever does that. So this film, it's not about her being a bad actress because she's a great actress. It's just the character is weird because we use terms now which we didn't use then, right? So this character obviously has some form of something, right? She's obviously on the spectrum. She is very hyper focused in regards to certain traits for OCD properties, right? She has certain ADD properties, but she's just labeled weird, and she's labeled a freak, and she's labeled crazy in this film. We don't say these things, and more so now, we label things now. We find out what the nature of the causes, what certain properties lead to certain reactions, right? So for a film from 14 years ago, it's weird watching it because we know that that's not how we talk now. That's how they talked then. That's not how we talk now. So this character, Mary Horowitz, played by Sandra Bullock, is set up for on a blind date by her parents with Bradley Cooper's parents. So they meet, they fool around, but she is just an encyclopedia of knowledge. She just knows a lot of stuff. She's socially awkward. She has a lot of social setbacks, if you will. She doesn't understand personal space, boundaries, stuff, right? When she's hyper focused, that's all she wants. She's a crossword puzzle writer, right? So a lot of it is then her obsessing over Steve. It's all about Steve. And she's just stalking Steve through his trail of being a cameraman for this news station, going across the country to this hurricane. And then eventually they lead to this, there's this hospital stuff. Then there's the final culmination after a tornado at this mine where this group of deaf kids, got sucked into the mine, and now it's the rescue mission to get the kids out. And then Mary is running through the fields to get to Bradley Cooper's character of Steve, but she somehow misses the giant hole in the floor and just falls right in, and then realizes that there's another deaf kid down there. So she's then trying to figure out, how to get out of there. Thomas Hayden Church is in this as well. He plays a news anchor as well, a newsman as well. Ken Jeong is in this. A bunch of people are in this. Katie, I forget her last name. She's in this as well. A lot of people are in this, and the last quarter of the film was incredible because it was a matter of being true to yourself, not trying to go to the status quo, being you, never changing for you, finding people who like you for you, things, right? It was very uplifting at the end, but getting there was so cringe because it was just this movie making fun of this person with these characteristics, and you don't do that anymore. You don't do that anymore. You shouldn't have done that back then, but now it's socially frowned upon. You don't do that. So it's just a weird film. It's a weird film because you're then just rooting for them at the end, and then obviously they're not going to get together because they were supposed to be together. So it goes to the whole know is a full sentence, learn boundaries, know when to stop and break away. Things. I liked the ending. I really liked the ending, but just getting to the first 3/4 of the film was just cringe, and the last quarter was just great. It was a great, uplifting, be true to yourself ending, but getting there was the problem. It's weird. It's a kudos to Sandra's talent, obviously, with the 3 films in '09, Proposal, which was hysterical, wonderful, Blindside, and All About Steve. So to have her be in 3 films that are still talked about all these years later, very cool. Incredible talent, incredible actress. She always does everything impeccable. That's it. So that's the 3 films in 2009 that Sandra Bullock was in: Proposal, All About Steve, Blindside. I don't know, man. It's hard to rank them it's hard to rank them within story and such. You know, would Proposal go before Blindside? I think Proposal would go before Blindside because that has Betty White in it too, and that was pretty epic. Alaskan Adventure. But All About Steve Man was cringe, and then eventually we got there, and that's it. That's all we got. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.